you think has changed for you since you've come back to this 905 the second time?
Not a lot. I mean, obviously the team a little bit, but obviously the team. But
Guys,
yeah,
your game seems more aggressive, more controlled. Like, how do you feel better?
I think just the preparation that I try to take with, especially Coach Evo, with different practices, and at the same time it's just going along with knowing that it's a journey. I mean, obviously I'm trying to build from when I first came in here, and I feel like you show that aggression, you come out and just play the way that you're supposed to play, and learning from Darko. He wants me to play a certain way, and that's just team basketball. And when you do that, it helps the team and also helps your cause. So.
We saw him take you aside, the Harden foul during the play, and then one other time. Mm-hmm. Those kind of teaching moments are very important to you during the game.
Yeah, extremely special, and just learning from a coach like that. I've talked about a bunch of times of his knowledge of the game, but when you're learning from that, mid game, it's a big help, and really helps me not make that same mistake when I try to guard hard the next time.
Gradey, can you share what he told you, what Darko told you after that foul on Harden?
Mm-hmm. It was kind of, obviously it was definitely teaching, but it was more of like I kind of knew what I did. Obviously I landed in his landing space, and kind of walked over to him with a smile, and he had a smile too. And when it's communication like that, where it's positive, that definitely helps me as a player, where I can personally learn like that, and he knows that too. And obviously there's times where you go over there without a smile, and it's a little more you need to do this right, you need to do that, and but one of those is a play where it's kind of just learning experience, really.
Obviously the rules are meant to protect, the one you got called for are meant to protect shooters, but how extreme, especially in your first year in the league, how extreme is a case like Harden where you have to contest and get to the left? So yeah. Like, how different is that than a normal contest on a normal player?
Yeah, obviously a player like Harden, there's not a lot of guys like him that can do what he does, and as on a physical point, but an intellectual one too, where he knows where he needs to get to his spots, and obviously he knows he has a rookie on him where I'm learning those different things, and definitely got me on that one. And but I think if I can play more in-game plays like that, it just helps me even more, and I can see stuff like that, and it's hard to say you can guard a player like that, and I tried to, and at the same time it's just really just going in-game plays like that and just learn from it. So.
Looked like you were trying to draw the charge on Russ, and then you got one later on. I can't remember who was it. Rewarding to get one or after the call about the other one.
Yeah, I thought I got it on Russ. I saw him going full speed, and it was a little painful, but laid down the second one. So just plays like that. I know when I go in the game, I need to figure out how I can help the team, and talking with Darko, and that's different little things like that where I can kind of help make more possessions for us is what I try to do. So.
One of the things that Darko was saying yesterday, not just in regards to you, but all the young guys on the team, is that he wants you guys to learn through success and failure. When, after a game like this where you play 20-plus minutes and you're going back and looking at film the next day, do you spend more time on some of the things that you've done well, or some of the mistakes you made, or sort of just looking at both and trying to learn from it?
I think it's a little bit of both. First I would probably look at the things I can do to get better. What I could have done better, and learning from those first of all, and then I feel like it's always good to kind of end with on a positive note, and it kind of helps you propel into whether it be the next practice or the next back-to-back game or whatever it may be. But when I go watch film with Coach Evo, it's going to be a little bit of everything. So yeah.
How helpful is it to play a team like the Clippers heading into a road trip?
It's huge. I talked a little bit about on my personal level of when I'm seeing in game situations, and that helps me propel to my games, and I feel like it's kind of goes along the lines of a whole team thing where we play a top team like that, and a really competitive game, and I feel like that just helps us get used to we're going on 12 days or whatever it may be, and kind of gives us that momentum to know that we need to play hard and just go at it every little bit.
On that Harden foul, it seemed like after you spoke to Darko, then Boucher spoke to you, and then I think Thad spoke to you. Mm-hmm. What's that like, having those guys coach you up in those moments?
It's great. It's like multiple coaches going on at one time, especially with that and Garrett when they've been in the league for so long and the knowledge that they have. And but in that particular play, it's more like I'm walking to them knowing exactly what they're going to say because it's like, yeah, I landed under him, and Chris is going to speak up and say the same thing, and then Garrett's going to say things like, watch out. But other than that, the stuff that they teach me, not even in the games, but just through practices, very special.
Do messages ever feel different coming from a player versus a coach?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, yeah, coaches obviously know basketball extremely well, but it is a different feel when you have a player like that or Garrett coming to you because they're in the same situations that you're in, and as in the game. But then when I come in, I'm here for not even a year, so they've been through a ton of stuff on the court, off the court, and I feel like it is different kind of teaching points from them.
RJ, that was the 8th 20-point performance you've had in just 13 games with Toronto. What's working for you?
I didn't play good today, honestly. But just, having the opportunity to kind of just play, I guess, just, move around cuts, in transition, just playing, a little more freedom over here for sure.
Why do you say you didn't play well today?
Three turnovers. I was minus 27 today. Missed 4 free throws. And then a lot of a couple of these shot attempts were going up and then stripping the ball and stuff like that. So it kind of led to a lot of transition for them. PG got me on a backdoor cut, just, little stuff like that.
Go ahead, guys. Go back in French, please.
Salut Roger. Je voulais savoir, est-ce que ce genre de match contre une forte équipe pour toi, il y avait mieux à faire quand même pour essayer d'aller chercher cette victoire? Qu'est-ce que vous auriez pu faire de mieux?
Beaucoup. Beaucoup. Yeah, that's it.
Avec des matchs pareils, est-ce que c'est difficile pour vous de rester positif malgré les défaites après des matchs que vous ne gagnez pas?
Non, on est toujours positif. Toujours positif, oui.
Darko, you said you wanted to see how your team would match up against a veteran, very good team. How do you think they did overall?
I think overall we did a lot of good stuff in that game. I thought that we were able to somewhat slow down their main players. They made a couple of really tough shots. We kept them shooting at 28% from the three-point line. We missed 9 free throws, and we shot tonight only 18% from the three-point line. If we did a better job there, we would have a little bit different outlook at the game. I was happy with the minutes that Gradey played tonight. He showed a lot of improvement there, a lot of good stuff. Overall, I thought that we played really hard whole game.
Your lack of size is really evident. I think 66 points in the paint. Is that just a function of they're too big for you guys?
They are big and they're forceful, and they were able to attack the paint and get there. A lot of those shots were heavily contested shots. They were shooting over us. Some of those you gotta tap your head and move on.
Darko, in the first quarter especially, it seemed that they had some good success with some sidelines out of bounds and stuff. They would either they'd get it at the rim, first option kind of thing. Is that just your team is just not that familiar with each other in some of those situations?
For sure, it's part of that. It's part of communication. It's also there are good execution and good reads in some of those situations. There, I thought that second half we did much better job of not allowing them in those SOBs for them to get into easy actions. We were able to switch much more 1 through 5 in the second half, and to send 2 players on the ball just to negate some of their isolations. This team is number 1 in the league in ISO, so a lot of those opportunities we did a good job of not allowing main guys to get those shots. Jonte Porter, he could not play. He got hit in eye. He saw a doctor tonight. He's okay, but tomorrow he's going to see an eye specialist.
RJ really found his lanes later in the game. When you start out driving and you're sort of driving into bodies, and then later you find open space, what changes? How does a guy do that throughout a game?
We talked over the course of the game. I thought that early in the game that when he was trying to drive the ball, they were first of all putting two people on him, and they were really active with their hands. They were getting some of the deflection. So we were talking about it, of protecting the ball better and being stronger with the ball, but also finding his teammates. And I thought that he did much better job in the second half with that.
There was a moment where Gradey fouls on the three-pointer, and you guys had a moment together right after that. What's that moment like for you?
That's a moment when a rookie sees a Hall of Famer, and even we showed on film and talked about it. It's until you go through it, it's hard to comprehend, So it was really understanding the game plan, understanding the personnel, and this is what James Harden is doing for a decade now. When he's shooting threes, if you land in his space, he's getting foul calls. So I thought after that he was much more alert, and definitely he's going to see that clip at least 50 times until he sees Harden next time. So I believe it's not going to happen again.
Were you telling him to contest and then just keep going so you're not in his space?
So contest, you gotta be square on him, and then when he gets in the shooting motion, you gotta go on the side. So you gotta be on his left side there to contest that shot, because every time if you just stay there in front of him, he's kind of lunging forward and landing into you.
And there was another moment, I think, he came over to double team, and his hands were down here, and you jumped up. Is that the kind of thing that you're going to have to do with this team moving forward?
For sure. I mean, we're learning on the fly. I cannot just count on the practice to be our time for improvement. Every time out, I'm literally talking about basics, how to switch, how to communicate, how to be in the right positions. We got to learn on the fly, So we talked about with Gradey of putting his body on the line. He was able to do that a couple of times tonight. He got one offensive foul called there. I thought that the other one was also good defense. So it's just build at a time. Right now, our wins are those small gains and small experiences that guys are improving, getting better at.
Another long trip coming up. It's going to take you past the deadline. Is that kind of almost a relief that eventually that's going to be over with and no more distractions of trade deadline?
We're just focusing on the next game and trying to get our guys better.
You don't see them as being distracted at all, being in the room or something?
Focusing on the next game and our guys getting better.
Thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest video and subscribe for more.